Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to the Summer Slim Down Challenge. What we're going to go over with you today is kind of how I look at nutrition, so that way I can help you guys with your nutrition when you're doing it at home, on the road, traveling, with family, friends, wherever, whenever. So to get down to the nitty gritty, what we're going to focus on here is calories in versus calories out. So I'm going to assume that everybody's going to be working out hopefully still, right? So that way they can burn calories, they can get more calories out of their body. But then we're also going to focus on calories going in the body. That's going to be the biggest thing that's going to help you guys get to the results you want, okay? So just for an example, a lot of people always hear about this 2,000 calorie diet, right? It's not an end-all be-all. Everybody's going to have their own specific number, which I'm going to send you in this email. That's going to tell you what you're going to be taking in. So let's say, for example, that somebody is taking in 2,000 calories a day, and that is what keeps their body at maintaining the same weight they're at right now. What we want to do to lose the weight is we want to take a little bit of calories away, but there's this thing I call the sweet zone, or the sweet spot that we want to stay in, to where, say I drop my calories way too low and I'm taking in 500 calories a day thinking, oh, the less I eat, the more I'm going to burn, right? The more weight I'm going to lose. You will lose weight, but this is called the danger zone now because you're going to have bad repercussions from that, like metabolic damage. You're going to have rapid weight gain when you start to add calories back in. So I'm going to give you guys the sweet zone and the calories that you're going to be taking in, where you're going to want to stay, and then we can start adding calories back in or taking more out depending on what your body's doing with the nutrition we're giving you. Okay? So the next thing we're going to focus on, I don't want people to be too worried about the calories because I'm going to give you those, but the bigger picture I want you guys to be focused on is what the calories are made up of, right? Do we eat all fat? Do we eat protein only? Do we eat protein, carb, and fat? You're going to get a little bit of all three. Okay, so we're going to get a little bit of fat, a little bit of protein, a little bit of carb. The way you're going to do this, you can also get this little subgroup down here called alcohol, right? Because that is also a calorie energy base that your body uses. But we're going to assume that since everybody's trying to get healthier, that you're not drinking, even though I know it's still happening, which is okay, right? Just as long as we're not taking in way too many alcoholic drinks. So we're going to pretend like that's not in here. So you're going to get an even amount of protein, carb, and fat in every meal. This is going to help keep you consistent and balanced. If you happen to have a meal that's just based off of protein and carb alone and no fat, your body's going to have a different response. If you have a meal that's only pizza, you're probably getting a lot of carb and fat only. So you want to make sure you're getting in protein in there to balance everything out, okay? So remember, something I want to kind of say before we go over here, I can only give you guys the tracks to run on. You have to do it yourself. Same thing with working out. You can come to the gym, but if you don't put in the work, you're not going to get the results. So make sure you're following this as best as possible to see the best results you can. So we're going to use my body for an instance, okay? I'm going to send you guys the total number of calories that you guys are supposed to be taking in per day. Like I said, this is just the overall number, but it's not something I want you to focus on. These numbers from here down are what I want you to focus on day in and day out from meal to meal. That's what's going to keep you consistency, or what's going to keep you consistent, and consistency is key for success. So the amount of protein I'm taking in is dependent on everybody's lean body mass or their body weight. So if I take in 170 grams per day and I eat 5 meals per day, I'm going to take in 34 grams of protein per meal. So that's me eating 5 meals a day. If you have a busy job or your hectic traveling schedule, whatever it might be, you might now have to have only 3 meals throughout the day. So you're going to take 170 divided by 3, or whatever your protein gram per day, divide by the meals per day. That gives you the grams per day that you're going to eat, or per meal, that you're going to try to get in of that macronutrient. Okay, same with carbohydrates, same with fat. Okay, so everybody's going to have different numbers for their protein, carb, and fat depending on your body and your goal. Divide this number by however many meals you typically have in a day. So whether it's 2, 3, 4, 5, it doesn't have to be specific. I know you hear sometimes about the more meals you have, the better you are. It's all dependent on your body. If I have 3 meals a day, but it's 3,000 calories, I'm still going to gain weight whether I eat 3,000 calories in 6 meals. Okay? So however many meals you eat, just take the number that I give you, divide by that many meals. That gives you that many grams per macronutrient that you're going to eat. Now, here's the better part for you, that I should say, is everything that I focus on with nutrition is called flexible dieting. So even though I give you your protein, carb, and fat, that's what you have to eat per meal. You can have a cheeseburger if you want. You just have to know that now the bun is going to give you a lot of carbohydrates, the burger is going to give you a lot of protein and fat. So you're going to have to track that through MyFitnessPal to know how much of that burger that you're going to have. Or for instance, I love pizza, I'm going to keep eating it. So I know that pizza has a high amount of carb and fat, so I'm going to make sure that I maybe only eat 2, maybe 3 pieces if it's thin crust, right? So 2 or 3 pieces is going to fill up my carbs and my fat for that meal. Now I know I might need to have a protein shake or have a little bit of chicken breast when I get home. Whatever it might be to even out those grams per meal. Okay, so the grams per meal is going to be your key to everything. Now, if you want to eat really strict and have a chicken breast, veggies, say asparagus, oatmeal, sweet potato, whatever you want, and a handful of nuts or seeds, hey, that's perfect. That's going to fit you in right into all these macronutrients that you need to hit, okay? It's just the amount of it that's going to vary. Now, with MyFitnessPal, what I'm going to do is I'm going to track your guys' diaries that you're logging in there. That's going to keep you accountable, and that's going to help me coach you. On MyFitnessPal, what you're going to do is you're going to go into your settings, you're going to click on diary sharing twice. There should be 2 categories for it. And you're going to check on the box for public. Okay, so that way I can go in there when I'm your friend and I can see everything that you've logged. That's going to help me. Now, this is going to be to your benefit, so if you have a Snickers bar, enter that in there, okay? It's only going to help you. It's not going to hinder you if I don't know you have that, right? I can't coach you on that. So then you're going to add me, or I'm going to add you, one of the two, but we're going to become friends. This is my username on MyFitnessPal. A big question I've been asked too lately is, do I track my exercise? How do I track my exercise? Don't track it at all. The reason for that is because if I say, well, you're eating 2,400 calories a day, but you say you did 3 workouts that day. You went to the park, you ran, you came in here, you did a CrossFit workout. How are you going to track all that? You can't. It's too much information, and it's not enough accuracy. So don't even worry about that. All you're going to do is track your calories in. If you're putting in the work in the gym, you're going to get results. Okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to enter in the foods you eat. You can look in there the amount of calories you've had that day and then the amount of macronutrients. Remember, the macronutrient numbers are the biggest thing that you're going to need to stay consistent on, and that's going to be key. Okay, so I think I've touched about all the bases. Remember, flexible dieting, so you can eat whatever you want to an extent, right? I don't always want you to have pizza, but as long as you're eating within these boundaries, every now and then you can slide off of that scale and have a cheat meal every now and then. But when you have your cheat meal, it's still within these boundaries, okay? But you can still have it. A lot of the foods I want you guys to focus on: lean meats, lots of veggies, nuts and seeds, some fruit, little starch, and no extra added sugar, okay? So I'm going to send you that in the email as well with a lot of good shopping lists that you can go for. So if you have any questions, email me back and then we can get started.